I'm good, man. How are you? Okay. Yeah. I was like, wait, we are live though.
Alrighty, and off we go. So Quattro, as we're getting started, do you have any opinions on either Daniel or Ari? Have you raced against either of these yet so far?
I've not in an actual race setting, not in like the tournaments, but I've raced Ari several times, and Ari is not invincible, just real. Um, Daniel, I actually have not had the chance to really do an ancient cave. I think once or twice, but it was like a group one, so there was not like, working against, trying to figure out what he does. So I think most of the experience just comes from Ari. Both of them are extremely awesome Earthbound runners, and
I love how so far both of these runners are literally following the exact same path, entering and exiting rooms at the exact same time. This is kind of fun to watch. Already finding the Casey Bat. Casey Bat is an interesting strategy. Casey Bat is one of the strongest weapons in the game, but it has a 75% chance to miss. So this early in the game, it looks like both runners opted to equip it, favoring just a huge increase in offense for the 75% chance to miss. So occasionally it'll just hit big, which will be a huge benefit here at the start. But yeah, still, each of these runners just literally doing the exact same things, following the exact same path so far. Daniel's just one room ahead.
it's crazy how that works with ancient caves, because like people usually pick up a specific route they take. Like I know if you hear Airframe talk a lot, he's like all adventurers go left, and so a lot of times when Airframe comes out the door, like he'll go left. Some people like to go right, or there are some doors that people like to check first.
And I know Ari in the past has mentioned that he likes to follow, I forget if it's the left-hand rule, the right-hand rule. Either way, he prefers imagining that as if you put your right hand or left hand on the wall and just walk around and follow all the doors in a certain path. So if he ever needs to come back, he remembers very quickly which doors he needs to progress through.
Right. Because once you start getting to like the hubs or just going along path, having too many doors after that point, and you feel like you're backtracking, you may want to have like something to just remind yourself, like, okay, if I come in this room, I know I should go here.
So both runners are actually already found the first boss room. This is a big one. It's kind of nice to find this one pretty early on. If you find this as the boss room in floor 7, 8, 9, or 7 or 8, it can be kind of nasty because there's just a huge room and you just have to progress through it, and there's lots of spawns throughout. Unfortunate red swirl there on Daniel's side over there. But, I mean, he's pretty well equipped. These enemies are surprisingly pretty weak considering it's the boss room. Still fighting crows and dogs and that sort of thing, so even the red swirl is not going to do much. Neither of them have found a a hitman or anything like that, so we have no idea what the bosses are going to be for any of the floors yet. Neither runners have found a skip or anything yet. So this boss could be anything from one of the skate punks to Ness's Nightmare. And it's Carpainter. Carpainter surprisingly could be kind of nasty as he throws out those crashing boom bangs. I mean, the freezes will kill in one hit, but yeah, just like you saw on Daniel's side, one person went down because of the lightning attack. Ooh, and Daniel actually doesn't have any more psyche points or any ways to put out any more damage because Paulo went down with all the psyche points. So he's just relying on bashes right now.
Ooh. I mean, if he gets lucky with the Casey bat.
Yeah, he just needs the Casey bat to connect once or twice.
Well, doesn't he? I wonder if Daniel still remembers that he has a bottle.
I think, yeah, the BBR was definitely an option, but it might have been too late. I forgot. The fight went by too fast. I forgot at what point Jeff went down.
I mean, luckily he was able to get Carpenter down.
Yeah, both runners get through that one, both with a couple casualties. And on to Scaraba.
By the way, I'm going to be a little bit behind on the stream delays.
So it looks Daniel actually opted just to go straight for exploring doors, and Ari is taking the time to look for shops. I don't even think Daniel even checked these shops to see if there's any potential skip items, anything worth buying. Granted, neither of them had much money. So, but oh, it looks like Ari on the left has found some hamburgers he can buy for some monkey skips if that comes across. But Daniel on the right side has found a shop just moving forward and skipping those shops, finding some hamburgers too. So both of them buying hamburgers for future potential monkey skips, just at different places.
Yeah, so like when you're going to the shop for ancient caves, if you want to focus on skips, there are specific items that you want to look for. You want to pick up hamburgers, double burgers. Mammoth burgers do not work because the game doesn't recognize it as like a normal hamburger. You're also looking for pizzas or picnic lunches, protein drinks. You already have a ruler, so you're okay there. The only ones you can't really buy are king bananas.
Ooh, Daniel on the right has found the hamburger skip room, so he's already taken a skip. So Daniel is somewhere. We don't know exactly where yet, though. I imagine Ari is following a very similar path, so my guess is that Aurilliux will find that same skip within the next minute or so. Daniel's going up on one of the side paths to check for a present, maybe kind of gauge what floor he's on by the strength of this present. And a laser gun. It's a decent item for Jeff. Judging on the offense gain, his wasn't a huge skip. Looks like he might be on maybe floor 4, maybe floor 5. It definitely wasn't to the end game.
Yeah. So, for people who don't know Ancient Cave, the skips, anything that has a character move out of the way is considered a skip. So the show ticket, backstage pass, monkey cave, all that. The least amount of floors it can take you is about 2 floors up or 2 floors back. The max amount of floors is 5. So if they took a skip on floor 2, then the least amount they can go up to is 4, but the max could be 7.
So Daniel just found just took an unfortunate wipe. But found a butterfly, so he's got everyone dead but Ness. But at least Ness has some psyche points now. But he's gonna struggle finding. Nobody has found, I believe, a full heal yet, so no one has any kind of option of recovery.
Ari actually did.
Oh, did he?
Yes, but it was back on floor 1, so.
Yeah, and this early on, before that skip, They were just going to floor 2. The enemies weren't getting very strong yet. I think neither of them really felt the need to go back and backtrack for that. Or Ari definitely didn't feel the need to go back and backtrack for that full heal, so he just pressed forward. But after taking this skip, both runners are definitely feeling underleveled with characters dead, just kind of struggling to recover right now.
Seeing the scorpions, it might be... I need a little bit more to see, but like that feels like probably floor.
What floor did you say? You said floor 4?
5.
Yeah, I could see either floor 4 or floor 5. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's probably about right where they are right now. Daniel's dealing with that water room. Dealing with the sewer room after a skip can always be nasty because you always feel underleveled. And as you're swimming through the water, you don't have any choice. When you find enemies, it's really too late to backtrack a lot of times. So you're just kind of forced into 2 or 3 encounters as you swim through the water, and it's just a mess.
Now I'm seeing UFOs. I'm feeling that maybe this is 4 actually.
Yeah, and like Watcher was mentioning, this is the skips. Whenever you find a skip is when you have to, like our Quattro was mentioning, whenever you have to move an NPC out of the way to gain access to a door. Those can be monkey caves or ticket booths or anything like that. But the skips are a minimum of 2 floors away. So it's very likely that both of these runners are on floor 4, since that would be the minimum distance for a skip. Both of them encountering the sentry robot at the exact same time. This will be nasty. I think they're going to have to throw out the big bottle rocket, or at least Ari will, to get through this. Daniel's able to smash his way through that with the Casey bat. Or no, he picked up an ultimate bat. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, on Ari's side, he's just struggling right now. This is an unrunnable fight. This is marked as a boss fight. So you cannot run from this one. And as soon as they start calling for help and you're underleveled, it's just, you're in for a world of hurt. Daniel was very fortunate to squeak through that one. Yeah, and Ari on the left there just lets his HP tick down and voluntarily takes the death to move on. So right now, Daniel's got a slight advantage. They're both technically on the same floor right now. We don't know what floor that is, but Daniel is progressed past where Ari has been, and Ari has taken a death. So Daniel has a slight advantage right now. They're both very similarly geared up as well.
Daniel actually came across like probably one of the tougher skips in Ancient Cave, because it's like the monkey is requiring a fresh egg. So it's like the only way you can get that is if you get lucky enough to have a shop very close by that sells fresh eggs.
Yeah, Daniel visibly a little hurt after that fight, that red swirl that he got into. These UFOs generally have some pretty high speed, so running to start can be a little tough unless their speed has been randomized very strongly downward. But he's able to bash his way through that one. Ness is getting a little low on HP. It's definitely feeling a little scary on Daniel's side. On the left, Ari has found the shop in the desert. It's got multi-bottle rockets, but I don't think either runner has fought anywhere near enough enemies to have enough money to buy an MBR at this point. So yeah, we still don't know what floor both these people are on. Yeah, and Daniel just found the fresh egg skip and came back with the fresh egg before it turned into a chicken. So he's potentially moving forward even further. And he found a ruler skip, my goodness. So he just skipped into another skip. So Daniel may even be further ahead. I'm just at a loss. It feels like Daniel just took about 3 skips. I'm not quite sure where he is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that's also really scary to do, because then you start losing where you're at. Especially if you start taking like too many skips, because then it's like, okay, am I going backwards? Am I going?
And especially because if Daniel is on a very late floor, he only has Ness alive. He's gonna have a big problem killing anything at this point. He really, really is looking for that full heal to recover. I'm excited for him to check this hint man to find out where he's at, which is just to the right. He did pick up a silver bracelet. The silver bracelet feels like a bit of a downgrade for where he was. I think with that silver bracelet, he's back to like floor 4 or floor 5. And another skip for Daniel. I don't know where he is anymore. I'm shocked that he didn't check the hint man. Looks like he's gonna hand off the burgers and then go check the hint man to see where he's at, and then go back and try those out. This is part of when Ancient Cave gets fun, when you have to keep track about 17 doors in your head. This is a doggo seed.
Oh yay!
And Daniel is currently on floor 4 after checking the hint man. I didn't quite see, he scrolled through the bosses too fast, but I did see that floor 8 is Carbon Dog, Diamond Dog. Ari on the left is backtracking back into the beginning of floor 1. I believe to go back and get that full heal, and then take the shortcut back into floor 4. Or floor 5, wherever it happened to go.
It's a risky move, but...
I feel like Ari doesn't feel like he has any choice. He was just struggling to deal with anything. Ness is the only one alive. He hasn't found any revive items. He just was unable to make progress.
Okay, Daniel definitely backing out. Feeling like he's on a late-in floor.
Yeah, Daniel just found a Gaia Beam, which is definitely a Gaia Beam and a Platinum Band. Daniel's definitely on floor 7 or beyond. He's absolutely for sure on a very late game floor.
And just looking at the 3 enemies when he walked into Dungeon Man, there was a Buka and like a UFO and the globe or the. And like that, those are enemies that you definitely see basically batched up together later in the Ancient Cave seeds.
So yeah, we know that if it would be, I think Daniel's very much hoping that he is on floor 9, and that he's going to be able to entirely skip the Carbon Dog Diamond Dog fight. Because if he is on floor 9, all he has to deal with is getting geared up and fighting Gygus. And Daniel has actually found one of the best rooms in the game. It's got a save point, essentially a full heal with this pink lake and the hotel right next to it. It's a perfect place to gear up and recover. So I'm sure Daniel's feeling a lot better now that he has kind of a base to start farming some enemies and start gearing up and recovering a little bit and equalize his level back out. And I believe Ari is still back on floor 1, if I'm not mistaken. Or has he progressed back into floor 2? I know he went back into floor 1 to get the full heal. I'm not sure if he's progressed back to floor 2. I don't think he has.
I think he's still on floor 1.
Oh no, he's back and he's taking that skip. The Sentry Robot was where the skip was, where he died. So he's back in floor 4, 5-ish. We're not sure what the number is, but he's definitely back there.
Alright, so Daniel actually got into a scripted fight here.
Yeah, sometimes those are the best thing to find. Once you take a huge skip and you're feeling underleveled, finding a scripted fight where you know exactly how the fight is going to go, you know exactly what to expect, and you can get some kind of free levels just to get out of the level 1, level 2-ish range, just to get a little stronger, get some psyche points so you can start throwing out some betas. It's very comfortable at that point.
It was actually, this was one I actually got in my race earlier where I was still very low level, like kids were still like level 2, level 3, and then I came across this room, was able to get a freeze beta off, was able to get the BBR to do enough damage. Kids got to like level 20 immediately after.
And Daniel's actually, he voluntarily took this fight. He walked into the enemies to get the experience, knowing that he could just paralyze them and just kind of auto-fight his way through them. That was a very nice move just to get some experience and kind of equalize his level out a little bit for this floor.
Some good health on 3 of the kids.
So I think Ari is back to taking the same path that Daniel did, probably about 5 to 10 minutes ago. And so I believe that my guess is that Ari will eventually find all the same skips in Summers that DanielRGT did. And my guess is we'll likely be seeing him take the same path and get to this late game floor like Daniel's on. We'll have to see what doors he ends up taking to see if he takes the same path or whatnot.
Actually, no. Daniel didn't actually go through Grapefruit.
Oh, did he not?
No, he went a little bit in, took a fight, and then backtracked. Because that's where he got the fresh egg.
Okay.
Because he got a fresh egg from one of these fights, and then he went back to the skip that had the fresh egg. And then took... see, if Daniel had gone a little bit further in, he would have got the auto Star Master that Ari just picked.
Some nice green swirls over on Ari's side. He's getting very nice, very good luck with these green swirls. They're all coming at him at getting surprise attacks anyway. So for anyone that is not quite sure what on earth is going on, both these floors are question marks for both these players. DanielRGT has taken a very significant skip. He's on a very late game floor. We're guessing floor 7, 8, or 9. Oh, Daniel has backtracked. He didn't fight the boss, so we don't know what boss that was, if that was floor 7. He could have checked it to find out what floor backwards was, but if he's on floor 9, that'd be that would be a fun backwards check to find out. Oh, I have to fight Carbon Dog and Diamond Dog again. And then Aurilliux is on some earlier floor. We're guessing floor 4 or floor 5-ish.
I believe Daniel might actually be... I've been looking at some of the enemies, and none of them seem like super strong, so I really feel that he might just be on... Because, like, once you start getting to 8 or 9, you definitely know which ones those are. Like, because I don't see... Like, I think just watching the screen, I haven't seen any Starmen. I haven't seen... He hasn't taken really any Octahedron fights, so I can't tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell for sure if those are, like, Stonehenge base diamonds or if they are, like, Carbon Dog diamond or very endgame diamonds.
Also, some of the other strats that you can do if you take a skip is that just setting an exit mouse right at the beginning of the skip. So, in Ancient Cave, what happened was Chaz was able to fix it to where, Ari went backwards too, apparently, on the floor. But an exit mouse in the main game used to just take you back to, I do believe, was it like the recent save or recent sanctuary room or melody? In Ancient Cave, Chaz set it up to where you can actually mark a spot in the map. You mark and go. So that way, if you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I need to make sure that I don't backtrack too far. So you mark an exit mouse, and if you go too far back, it's like, okay, I'll just use it now. Takes you back to where you marked it, and then you could just fix whatever you messed up.
So Aurilliux just took another big skip as well. Aurilliux just skipped way ahead, and all of a sudden he's fighting Starmen. We don't know if this are Stonehenge Starmen or like Final Starmen, Ghost of Starmen type stuff. I'm at a loss right now. This has been a tough race to follow. Both of these runners have taken multiple skips very quickly in succession, and not quite sure where either. Oh, Ari takes a bad fight. I think he was about to get Starstormed. Is that what was happening?
He did. The first turn.
He did just save, so it wasn't much of a loss, but.
That was one of the Starmen that did a shield. So I think the first turn that Starman opened up was healing Omega.
Yeah, judging by the strength of these enemies, I'm seeing some pyramid strength enemies on Ari's side. On his splits, he has marked that he thinks he's on floor 7, as like I'm assuming is like a guess, and I think that's accurate.
Right.
We don't know for sure, but Ari believes he's on floor 7, and it definitely feels like Daniel is either on floor 8 or floor 9.
Either way, they're both up there.
Starman teleporting onto the rope to catch Arya. I'm sure he was hoping to get off that rope and just try and get a green swirl, but they teleported right up to him. I didn't even know that could happen. Daniel with the quick reaction, catching those enemies before they had a chance to react and start coming towards him. That was nice. Looks like Daniel's stream might have died? Died for me. We'll switch over the audio and try and recover that. So while we wait for Daniel's stream to come back up, oh, now he's back. It was a nice opportunity to switch audio. Oh, Daniel. So Daniel confirms that he is on floor 8. And you can see him be a little visibly upset to find out that he is indeed on floor 8 and that he still has to deal with the dogs. I'm pretty sure that's why he was disappointed. Didn't know for sure where he was at. He was really hoping he was on 9. But he is, in fact, on 8 and will have to fight the dogs.
You never want to, like, realize you end up having to fight the dog. Never.
So yeah, Daniel, or Ari on the left, dealing with Tucson. Tucson is one of the biggest hubs. Actually, I believe it is the biggest hub in the game. When I say hub, I refer to like the group of doors, all the doors that you can explore. I believe there's 18, 19 doors in Tucson that you have to explore. If you come forward into the room, I've even had seeds where you explore all 19 doors and you find out that all of them were dead ends and the correct progress is the way forward. So this can very much be a time sink as you explore and slowly process of elimination, eliminate all these doors as possibilities.
That is usually the case too when you have a floor that has 2, because you can be like, okay, I'm in Onett, and then take like maybe 1 or 2 doors and then be in Forsyth.
So Daniel on the right has actually found the floor 8 boss, which is Carbon Dog Diamond Dog. And I'm interested to see how Daniel's going to handle this. He's kind of low on Psyche points. Yeah, he's definitely going to backtrack. I believe he's going to look for more gear. Just look for anything that will give him a leg up on this fight. As it stands, he's definitely just he's backtracking. He's just looking for more gear, maybe more levels, anything to help out with this fight. Maybe just a hub to save so he can try multiple times without losing too much progress. He actually found one of the shortcuts that he took earlier, and it looks like he took the wrong shortcut maybe, because he found one that he opened up, and I'm assuming that he never actually explored out this way, and he could have emptied out on floor 8 anyway, and saved a little bit of time.
I think which one that could have been was the which one did he open? It was the fresh egg one.
Oh, okay.
Because like right when he got off of that skip, he went to the other one and took the rulers.
And it's so easy for something like that to happen. We saw Daniel, I believe he saw at least 5 skips in the first 15-20 minutes of the run. And it's so easy to just lose yourself and forget which floor was what, especially those monkey doors. If you come in on the right door and you go back in on the left, you don't know where the intermediate floor was, and it's tough.
Has he checked the guy at the top?
The arms dealer? I don't know. I don't think so.
Now, if he goes up there, you know, if there's some super bombs or whatnot, that could be a huge help for.
Oh yeah, if he can farm some money and get super bombs, I don't know if he's checked that guy, or maybe he did earlier. I'm not quite positive. Yeah, he's just looking for anything. I think he's recently switched to the mode where he's just slowly backtracking, trying to get out of Foreside to go backwards into wherever it was before this, just to look for gear. Daniel's actually backtracked back to I believe this is like floor 2. I think this is the floor 4 or 5ish that they were both on for a while. Yeah. Ari on the left has actually found a arms dealer with super bombs. Super bombs are almost more valuable than multi-bottle rockets, especially for endgame bosses. Especially Gygus. For Carbon Dog and Diamond Dog, multi-bottle rockets are wonderful, but Daniel on the right is gonna fight the dogs. Here we go. This is a scary fight. His psyche points are so low. I feel like his only hope. Correct me if I'm wrong, Quattro, but I feel like his only hope right here is to get through the Carbon Dog phase, Brain Shock, and pray that he diamondizes himself.
Yeah. But even then, that could go poorly, because then he has the, he can basically just one-hit kill or do like a, it's not Flash, but it's a move similar to Flash, and just eat a child. Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't matter, because that was just like...
And that was I think the fastest death to a Carbon Dog I've ever seen. It was just instant fire attack everyone dead. Everyone's got pretty low stats right now, and he doesn't really have any fire resist items. I don't believe he's found any sea pendants or star pendants or anything like that. I believe he has found one earth pendant. And outside of that, we're struggling on both sides here. So again, Daniel has taken some significant sips to get to floor 8. And, oh, Daniel exit mounts his back, and he's just gonna go again. I don't think he's geared up any differently.
Nope. He's just gonna go and hopefully get lucky.
Yeah, at least he didn't get fire attacked that first round. Let's go ahead and swap over to the audio for this fight. I'm excited to see how this goes. So he's got Carbon Dog feeling strange, and he didn't take that party hit for the fire, so I believe now with him feeling strange, he's going to be spamming freeze betas and to not remove that feeling strange effect, just to get through this round, and then slowly work his way through. Oh, there he takes a party hit from the fire again. This is tough. I don't know how either of these people are going to deal with this fight.
Now, Andy, since you have a lot of knowledge for this, and I found out this with Gygus earlier today. If you were to Brain Shock Carbon Dog and then he turns into Diamond Dog, is the status effect...
Say that again, you cut out.
Is the status effect removed from Carbon Dog or the fight in general once Carbon Dog switches over to Diamond?
I believe the effect is removed. So, for example, in Phase 1 of Gygus, or Phase 3, if you Brain Shock Gygus on the first round of Phase 3 before the transition, I believe the Brain Shock effect is removed. I'm not positive on that, but I believe any time there's like that phase transition for bosses, the effect is removed. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I was told that today because I did that on Phase 3 of Gygus.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people count that that very first round of Phase 3, Phase 2.5, for that very reason, because the status effect doesn't carry over.
Right, so I was thinking that it was gonna do that anyways, or be similar, since Carbon Dog is, when he dies, turns into like a completely different.
Daniel's still pushing through this fight. What you're looking for this fight, this is the strategy I almost always use for this fight, is just freeze betas and attacks and pray that you get some solidifies. Solidifies are a godsend in this fight. I valued the solidifies from freezes way higher than damage output from, say, like a Starstorm, for example. Especially in very dangerous fights like this. I'm not sure what he's praying for. I hope maybe psychic points.
That's what I would.
Maybe a dazzling light to hit him and do 200 damage or so. The prayer is keeping everyone alive. As soon as they take mortal damage, they get that prayer, and they stay alive with 15 health or so. I imagine we're getting close to seeing Diamond Dog transition. He's actually opted to no longer even throw out freeze betas from Pooh.
I think just because he's trying to get something back for Phase 2, because while Phase 1 can be a problem with like the AoE attacks and just the amount of damage he can put up, Phase 2 ends up being ridiculous because he gets a lot more HP. I know it's kind of randomized with the Ancient Cave, but it still always seems to be quite a lot.
Yeah, it's always going to be over like 3,000. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's like 4,000, 4,500.
Yeah, and then like physical attacks just always reflect back. So your best bet would be to use like psychic ability or psychic ability.
There is still lots of damage.
Is feeling strange though.
Yeah, there is still lots of damage sneaking through. Every once in a while, I see a big 150 damage hit on Carbon Dog when he hits himself or Paula gets a dazzling light. There is still a little bit of damage sneaking through. Pooh goes down, so even if he does make it to Phase 2, or he just did, he made it to Diamond Dog, I think his only hope now is to pray and make him feel strange. And then hope for a... oh wow, he got the feeling strange prayer immediately. So Diamond Dog now has the chance to diamondize himself, and he gets the Rainbow of Light. This is a crazy fight. If Daniel's able to pull this off, major props to him. Paula was diamondized. Or I guess Jeff Paula. Ari on the left, still exploring through what we believe is floor 7. Daniel did not take this path, so we don't know where the correct path out of Tucson forward is. So Ari is just exploring all 19 of these doors, hoping to find one of these eventually. And it may be Daniel's already on floor 8, already fighting Carbon Dog, Diamond Dog. But if he continues to struggle for a while, we may see that Ari finds some better gear on floor 7 and makes it to Carbon Dog, Diamond Dog better geared. And he's able to take him down pretty quickly. We don't know. So Ari's strategy, or Ari's luck and his door choice may prove to be the better one by the end of this run. I believe, though, that Diamond Dog still feels strange. So at any point, Diamond Dog could bite himself and diamondize himself for instant kill. This is going downhill pretty quick. There it goes. Daniel's not unable to get that Diamond Dog down. Carbon Dog went down over a period of time. He was using prayer strats to keep everyone's, maybe sneak in some extra psychic point heals. And he had some decent damage output on Diamond Dog that far. My guess is he had put out maybe 500 to 1,000 damage so far, and he was just hoping for a Diamond Dog to Diamondize himself. He had a lot of chances, but it just didn't work out. So Daniel might opt to just try again. He might opt to gear up a little better. We'll see how this goes.
Diamond Dog ends up being like that one wall for a lot of people in Ancient Cave. Even though Diamond Dog's always like floor 8, like, you hardly see it in the other floor. Any other boss up that far up is a lot more simple. Sure, there are other walls, like if you get Kraken floor 4, that could be a problem. Nightmare floor 5 or 6, that can also be a problem if you don't have the right stuff readily available. But it always seems that, like, even though Diamond Dog is floor 8 all the time, it always seems to be a problem.
So we're seeing Ari on the left. He went all the way down to, there's that one door in very southern part of Tucson. He was hoping for that one to be the door forward. And, oh gosh, he gets hit by an eagle orb in the back, hiding up behind the trees. So, and then Daniel on the right employing that same strategy, just praying and hoping something happens.
I just saw that eagle orb just happen. That was so dope. That thing was just like a ninja out of nowhere. It's just like you're walking and here comes eagle orb.
Yeah, I don't know what the best strategy is for Daniel to take at this point. I don't know if it's better to explore for more gear. I don't know if it's better just to keep trying and eventually it'll pay off. I honestly don't know.
Even if not gear, probably just levels. Because if he had a little bit more levels on his characters, maybe it would be a little bit better. Because who knows, like you could probably get like 3 or 4 level ups to where it's like, oh, here's that big boost in the psychic points or the HP that you could. Oh, he does actually have a flame pendant.
See, and Daniel's taking advantage of how the exit mouse functionality works. Whenever you use an exit mouse and you mark its location, that marked location is not tied to that individual exit mouse. If you mark a location and then go there, pick up another exit mouse, that location is still marked. So yep. Daniel is saved close to an exit mouse room, so he can pick up more and then warp back to that same location every single time.
Alright, so he got the first turn Brain Shock to work, but Jeff is dead. And nice. If you could use Jeff or anything, it would be during Carbon Dog, since Diamond Dog is just like,
He's already put out quite a bit of damage on Carbon Dog. I believe he's already at a little, maybe around 1,000. So my guess is that Carbon Dog transforms in the next 2 or 3 turns. Maybe 3. He's gonna start so Carbon Dog doesn't have any psyche points. Diamond Dog has some.
Yes.
And it can be useful to grab some of that. Okay, now we're on to Diamond Dog. We got Ness alive with full health, Paula and Pooh alive, but they're both very low on psyche points, so there's so many things you could try here. I feel like, yeah, he's just gonna go Brain Shock strats again. Make him feel strange and pray that he gets lucky. The Brain Shock failed though, so Diamond Dog is not feeling strange yet. So he's not even bothering to throw out freezes or anything like that from Paula, which makes me think that he is 100% on the Brain Shock strat. Ari on the left, back at the the arms dealer, loading up on more super bombs. This super bomb load up is going to make the Carbon Dog Diamond Dog fight, whenever he does get there, much easier. And my guess, I don't know if R has even found a hitman yet that he knows what the boss order is going to be. He may have, I'm not positive.
I don't
but
think he has.
Yeah, so he doesn't know yet that Carbon Dog and Diamond Dog are lurking ahead. But when he gets there and he realizes what he's dealing with, my guess is he's going to throw all of those super bombs on that one fight. And he's found secret herbs. So Ari, he doesn't have much. He doesn't have really better gear than Daniel, but his loadout for his items that he's sitting on is extremely advantageous right now for the coming fights.
Even then, he could find something that skips Diamond Dog and eventually just have everything set for like a Gyga's fight. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's sitting on floor 7. He could find a skip to floor 9. Daniel on the right took a party hit on that very first turn, and I believe he feels that he can't take that on turn 1. He needs a perfect fight to get to Diamond Dog. So he just as soon as he sees that attack, he resets and he's gonna try again. Let's go ahead and swap over to Ari's audio for a little bit of a change.
Oh, he took a skip.
Who did, Ari?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All of a sudden on his skips, he has marked that he's on floor 9.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
I think, yeah, I cut away.
I don't think he knows that he's on floor 9. I believe he thinks he was on floor 7 and that he found another skip that he feels, based on the equipment and the things he's fighting, that it was forward again. Right. So my guess is he now believes that was a 2-floor skip from 7 to 9. If that's the case, he will never fight Carbon Dog Diamond Dog.
And all he'll need is like minimal earth pendants.
Yeah, I don't know if
that, it's Ari. If he even has just one, he's like, okay, I'm going for it. So like, oh no, he's behind the boss. Oh, he is on 9.
Why do you know this?
Because he just fell into the room behind Carbon Dog.
Oh, did he?
He did, yes.
All right, that's proof then. He doesn't know he's on floor 9, but we do.
Yes.
I think he assumes it, but he doesn't know for 100% certain.
So one of these tents in Winters was one of the skips. I don't know which door he came out of, though. And I wonder if these were one that, like, Daniel also found and just didn't take.
This is. I feel like this has been crazy. For a while there, at the very beginning of this race, Ari had backtracked back to floor 1 to get a full heal. And Daniel was already on floor 8 at one point. So Ari was on floor 1 and Daniel was on floor 8, I believe. And in the meantime, Daniel's been struggling with Carbon Dog Diamond Dog. He has gone 100% in on the strategy, and he's just going to keep trying. I believe he just feels like he's too deep in on the strategy. He's just going to keep going.
Yeah. I feel Daniel accidentally just took too many skips in general. Had he just like kind of played it out correctly, he'd probably be like, okay, this is this floor, go back here. Because the other thing you could do with skips as well is, you know, it revolves like backtracking to an earlier floor. But that earlier floor may have something readily available to you, like a full heal, or just like maybe like you can come off and like a few doors down, there might be a arms dealer. So you'd be like, okay, I know this. Let me farm on this floor because I know a lot of money can drop. And then let me kind of like backtrack and find an ATM, then go buy whatever I need.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the correct strategy is because, I mean,
Yeah. Because, like, everybody plays different, and, like, everyone has different ways of handling situations.
See, this is confusing for me now, because we're back where Aurilliux originally took the theater skip, where we believed he was on floor 8. So I am beyond confused right now. I don't know where Aurilliux is at all. I know you said he dropped behind floor before the behind Carbon Dog Diamond Dog, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Like, it was that situation because the screen kind of went up showing that he fell down, and the only other times that does it, or any other room that does that, from my knowledge, that's readily available for Ancient Cave, is the Dalam or Dalam Sanctuary boss, where you fight Thunder and Storm and
okay, yeah.
Vanilla. The only other one is the hole right behind Electrospectre spot, because that's not like a rope ladder. That's just a hole.
Ooh, Ari finds a snake. He didn't drop it. He's going in on the snake strats. I like it.
Alright, Daniel's actually doing pretty decent on this Diamond Dog fight. Kid's got good health still.
See, I think for this strategy, before Diamond Dog uses too many of his own Psyche points, you just want to kind of drain as much as you can.
I wonder if he's still feeling strange.
I imagine he is, because he hasn't done another Brain Shock against him. I feel like if he weren't feeling strange, he would have done another Brain Shock at this point. Yeah, in my opinion, the strategy right here, is just to spam some freezes slowly, hope that he eventually kills himself with a Diamond Eyes attack, and just eke out some freeze betas as the fight goes on when you have sucked out some Psyche points. Ari over there on the left, he's opting to take this path just to look for more gear. He believes he's on floor 9, and he's looking for more gear, hoping for sea pendants, star pendants, maybe some earth pendants, just anything to make the fight for Gygus, or the Gygus fight a little safer. He's already sitting on dozens of super bombs and secret herbs, so his items are 100% ready. It's just his gear is looking for a little bit of an upgrade. Daniel's still just chugging away on this Diamond Dog fight, throwing out freezes and brain shocks and magnets, hoping this fight ends. Everyone's alive, though.
Yeah?
I spoke too soon.
Oh.
He's thrown out a lot of freeze betas. Freeze betas. He's magneted a lot of Psyche points away from Diamond Dog. And at this rate, he's going to finish this fight, assuming that Diamond Dog doesn't run out of Psyche points to take up. Paula and Pooh have taken, or Paula's sitting on mortal damage taken, so he needs to throw out a heal on Paula to keep her alive, which is unfortunate. You want to see as many of these Psyche points going to freeze betas as possible.
Yeah.
Ari's hit another big hub with Onett. Onett's got another huge set of doors. So he's got a lot of doors to explore, all the way from the police station to a few side houses on the right, to the library and the Star Fort.
Yeah, if you didn't know he was on floor 9 before, now is probably the best way to see, because there are a lot of fires.
And Ari on the left has found a star pendant. So I believe he has a night pendant, a star pendant, and an earth pendant now. With the item set that he has.
Oh, Daniel did it.
Oh, did he get through?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, man. I'm sure Daniel is I don't know if he's on cloud 9 to be done with that fight, or just relieved to finally move on. But that means both of these runners are on floor 9 right now. I remember Ari hitting the shop about 5 minutes ago. Oh, this is getting close. Can't believe Diamond Dog finally diamondized himself. And I missed it. That's what I'm most upset about.
I don't know if he actually did diamondize himself.
I doubt that he had thrown out enough damage. My guess is the amount of damage he had thrown out was around 2,000. Felt like he still had a ways to go, but...
Now, this isn't, like, completely dead yet, either. Like, once... Even though Ari has all this stuff, like, he can have, like, still a bad Gygus.
Oh, of course. It's not over. I mean, it's not over until that final prayer is down.
Yeah.
At any point, Ari doesn't have a lightning or a Franklin badge, so he could have party members go south, and Paula's the only one alive and unable to recover, and takes a lightning hit and is down.
Yeah. He still has, like, a lot of secret herbs, though, so the only way those would not be successful is if they just do not res kids.
Yeah. Ooh, Ari has found the present room on floor 9.
Oof.
Bag of Dragonite, some poo gear, Goddess Ribbon. Actually, I'm going to be honest, that wasn't the best present room for floor 9. Bag of Dragonite's really the only really nice thing that came out of that room. Some gear, some extra defense, but nothing really exceptional outside of that Bag of Dragonite.
Got a lot of dead kids over on Daniel's side. Must have been a bad fight.
Ari's almost got a fully geared Pooh, by the way. Got 3 pieces of gear on Pooh. I know for me, I always have a pendant equipped on Pooh, which is a hit to his defense. So even if you do have some of his gear that he can equip, it like doesn't even make a difference. Doesn't even push it above 0 anyway, so I don't even bother.
It also doesn't matter because Pooh takes like massive damage anyways, no matter what. It always feels like it's just like, oh, Pooh just took like crap tons of damage.
So Daniel's now making the Tucson rounds that Ari made a little bit earlier. Let's see if he ends up finding the path forward a little quicker, because Ari spent a good 10 minutes finding his way through Tucson.
That was the skip, I think, because it just dawned on me if we felt that. Well, no, I don't know what skip that was. That must have been a different skip. Never mind.
Ari finds the pizza seller. If he wants, he can find a phone and get a large pizza for the Gygus fight, which is a pretty nice help to have sometimes.
Wow, the mock pizza just moved the building over. I wonder if you walked into the pizza place, it would be the arcade.
So Ari's hit the vast majority of these doors. If after this one, I believe he only has maybe 2 or 3, maybe like the shack, the tree fort, and the library left, I believe is all that's left for him to check.
He also, there's like, let's see. There are the 2 doors on the right. There's like a purple roof and the orange roof.
Yeah, he hit everything on the right side.
There is also 1 door here on the left. It's one that I forgot about. And I actually try not to forget about again. There's like one right at the left there.
Yeah.
It's like a white building with a purple roof. Sometimes it's like confusing as to like whether or not that's one that you would have to knock on or if that's one you can walk into. But it may also just be a door he came through. There's the tent.
The full heal room is off of Onet, so he has a safety hub to get back to. If he finds the Gygus room and he wants to set up home base somewhere. Interesting. Oh, he found another star pendant in the shack. He's now got sitting on 2 star pendants and a night pendant and an earth pendant. Alright, got a nice little bit cheer showing up in the timer right there.
We ask all our runners to turn off announcements.
Ah, it's not a big deal.
Nah,
I'm not sure what doors Ari has left to check.
I'm sure it's literally probably that like white building with the purple house. Like he's coming down. It's like if you're at the drugstore.
Oh yeah, it's that one right below him right there.
No, not the long one. Or unless you're a little bit further ahead of me.
It looks like that was the right one. I went into a hospital room that splits in two directions, and so it looks like this is likely the way forward. Finds another phone. He's gonna save there. He can, so if he does wipe, he can backtrack back into Onett for the full heal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to the Gygas room, because I'm pretty confident he checked every other Onett door. I think this was the absolute last possibility. And there it is. Ari has found the Gygas room, sitting on 2 star pendants, an earth pendant, a night pendant, secret herbs, and super bombs galore. I believe the odds are in his favor to get through this.
Laughed and you said like, oh, this door is where Gygas goes, and then like immediately goes to Gygas.
I take it back. Pooh doesn't actually have flash resist on him. Pooh just has the Cloak of Kings. So, so he's just got star pendants on Ness and Paula, and an earth pendant on Jeff, and nothing on Pooh. So once we hit phase 2, and Gygas throws out a flash attack, Jeff and Pooh have the possibility to go down. Here we go. He's hoping for the Paralyzed to work. Paralyzed is a 50-50, whether it works or not. And he's hoping for a Rockin' Alpha. Jeff's got really low HP, so a Rockin' Beta will kill Jeff, guaranteed. He gets the Alpha. Everyone survives. See how this paralysis goes?
Those kids just have like a lot of HP except for Jeff.
The paralysis fails, but unless he targets Jeff, he's going to have time to keep that person alive. Okay, it targets Paula, and Pokey is now paralyzed. So now it's just up to him to recover and move into phase 2 cleanly. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is Paula's Psyche points.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Psyche point gain items he's sitting on.
But he still has a lot of super bombs.
That's true.
So, like...
I guess if you're loaded on super bombs, you don't need Psyche points. You just throw, like, 6 or 7 super bombs at phase 2 Gygas, and you're on phase 3.
Yeah. Now, some people like to spread them out. Like, I saw that he has, like, a lot of secret herbs on just Ness. Like, no one else has any.
Yeah, I mean, once he gets to phase 2, Ness and Paula are gonna be the safe ones.
Well, yeah, I guess that's fair. But oftentimes, if you have like super bombs too, you could just have like you can do your normal turn 1 with Ness and Paula and Pooh, just like try to paralyze, shield Sigma, life up Paula if she takes bad damage.
It's interesting that
he.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That just like constantly just do bombs, like save as much psychic points for phase 2.
Yeah. I did find it interesting that he opted to Brain Shock with Pooh.
It's almost like it's completely, I wouldn't say necessary, but it helps a lot in Ancient Cave just because the opportunities for Gygas to actually storm or like hit himself with thunder.
Yeah. I just feel like he's very. I've heard Ari comment in the past that the only time he really resorts to the Brain Shock is when he is concerned at all about the Gygas fight. But he's sitting on so many super bombs and flash items. I was just intrigued that he threw that out.
That was a very quick phase 2.
Yeah. He's on phase 3 now. Paula's got the C pendant and 300 HP, so probably 3 or 4 lightnings would have to connect to kill Paula. And that time, he's going to have plenty of time to heal with Ness. And I feel he's in a very safe situation.
Yeah. That little phase right there, that part where the first prayer was, that's what people consider Geigus 2.5.
Yeah.
It's just a part where you have to like continue with a prayer in order to further the fight, and then it goes into this one. Because it's almost like you're still fighting it like phase 3, but it's still the appearance is still phase 2. Changing upon this, he loses status effects. So like anything like feeling strange, it disappears coming into here. And it looks like he actually did brain shock as well, just to give a little advantage too, because Geigus hit himself with thunder.
Yeah, just so I guess so he doesn't have to think about healing as often.
Yeah. Which with 3 live kids also saves time, because it's just like not having to deal other like life ups and whatnot.
So 318, I believe that's about 4 prayers down, 5 prayers. There's 120 each on Ness and Paula. My guess is he's gonna life up with both Ness and Pooh this turn.
Should be prayer 8 coming up. Or no, prayer 7.
Yeah, so he's just got 2 prayers left. And this is pretty much done. Looks like Ari's gonna take this race. Especially with that empty turn on turn 8. This is Ari's. I don't even know if Aurilliux even knows that floor 8 boss was Carbon Dog Diamond Dog. I don't believe he ever found a Hitman.
Nope.
And there it is. Ari finishes with a 106.40 on a Doggo Seed. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think Daniel just got extremely stuck on the dog fight. Had he gotten that luck on the last one earlier, you know, it'd be pretty close. But then, like Daniel's still missing like a lot of stuff that Ari has. Because Daniel would be going into Geigen's fight with like no secret herbs, no super bombs, a lack of. Well, I'm sure he's gotten his C pendant by now.
Aurilliux got the best. The seed has the best pokey final commentary.
Well, joke's on Ness. I don't have 3 burgers, so. Guess he's just gonna have to get used to just my credit card. Joke's on him. Daniel's not too far off from Geiger's room as well.
Yeah, I believe Daniel's about to make his way over into the Onet area.
Yep. There's one secret herb you'll be able to use.
I don't even think Aurilliux used any of those secret herbs that he picked up during the Geigus fight. or at all, really.
Didn't need to. Like he got through those phases so quickly.
So let's see these credits for Ari's side. At the end of every single Ancient Cave run, you get some fun little stats about your the state of your run, including some fun little tidbits of information about various things. Random battles 48, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
Damage received. Damage received,
Money
damage
Bank
dealt
is
usually like a
also
3 to
really low.
5x ratio. What were you saying?
The money in bank is also very low. Because oftentimes, like, you get that far if you take a lot of fights late game, like, you kind of can sit around, like, 15 to 20,000.
Ari had 0 no problem here's. I have yet to see a run with 0 no problem here's, and he freed a chicken. So it was humane and as valid as possible.
I do zeros all the time. What are you talking about?
Do you really?
Yeah. I got mine today was a 0.
I don't.
Chaz won't talk about it, though, because I ain't released no damn chickens.
It wasn't humane.
Yeah, sorry.
You can't be valid and inhumane.
I remember how big validity was in that. And then right when I did it, Chaz was like, "Hey, we did a new thing where you release chickens." And then I showed it, and they're like, "Well, you didn't release no chickens, so this run's actually not great." And I'm like, man.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Congratulations, Ari. That was a great race. Hello.
Hello?
Thanks.
Congratulations, Ari. That was a great race.
I played really dumb, but it paid off.
You never found a hitman, did you?
Nope.
I believe you went through Summers for a portion of it, but you never checked the hitman, did you? Or did you ever see Summers?
I don't think I poked my head in Summers.
Okay, so when you fell down, and I know you kind of backtracked because like you came behind the boss and you were like, okay, I kind of backtracked to the floor before. The boss that you actually avoided was Carbon Dog.
I heard.
Yeah. Daniel had been stuck on that boss for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I believe the first time Daniel tried, well, Daniel found out that he was on floor 8. Well, he found the hitman on Summers on like floor 4 or floor 5, and then he made his way to floor 8. He didn't know he was on floor 8, but then he found the hitman in Forside, which was on floor 8, and found out he still had to deal with Carbon Dog, Diamond Dog. And then I believe his first attempt was at about the 25-minute mark.
Yeah.
And he didn't down the dogs until about 55 minutes to an hour, maybe even past that.
Well, let's see. Going this way, Daniel's gonna run into Gygas. Did he already go through Tucson? This is the biggest floor 9 of all
Yeah.
time.
Yes,
Oh my
he
God.
he already made his way through Tucson, so I think he's about to hit Onet.
He's already been through Onet.
Oh, has he?
Already
Okay.
He's already picked the right door as well.
Gosh, I didn't even see Onet. He got through Onet real quick.
Well, I was trying to scavenge out star pendants on Onet, which there were. As soon as I figured out I was on floor 9 when I got ambushed by an ego orb. Did you know you can hide an entire ego orb?
I
behind a
love
tree?
you got back
Because
back attacked by an eagle orb hiding underneath the trees. I didn't know it could fit back there.
That was like my favorite part. It's just like you walk in and it's like a nice day outside in town. And then you're like, oh, you know, nothing could go wrong. And it's like that whole thing about like a bear in nature just attacking you. But like just this ego orb just out of nowhere. He just like sneaks up, hey guy. It's so great. I love it.
Huh.
You
That was
also-
nice, though. Definitely made sure I was on floor 9. It could have been 8.
I believe at one point there was about a 5-minute section where you had taken like 5 different shortcuts. How on earth do you keep track of where you are?
with my brain. I don't know. So I just took a couple skips to try to figure out what floors that would be on, and then at some point I wound up finally getting the Blunder Twins killed, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'll just backtrack because I know where one full heal was, because that's largely what I was looking for. I'll just backtrack to there, use the exit mouse, go forward, and pray it's not a dead end. Which it wasn't. It all worked out.
Okay, so that's where I got lost. So I remember seeing you backtrack through the Mondo Mole room to find get back to a full heal, and then all of a sudden I looked back and you were back on the floor 4 or floor 5 area, wherever that happened to be. It's like, wait, how did you get back there so fast? It didn't even cross my mind that you'd use an exit mouse.
Yeah, it's not what I even intended it for, but once I was in that situation, I was like, oh, it'll work.
Okay, so Daniel actually eventually found a shop for something.
I would imagine Daniel probably found the shop in Tucson. That was, what, the bike store that had the super bomb vendor? Because he's got a billion super.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at your inventory a few times. It looks like you had about 20 super bombs and about 10 secret herbs in your inventory.
Yeah, well, remember I bought the secret herbs before I still found another full heal. The only one I knew of was on floor 1. I figured if I wiped, I was like, well, I can use this at least. And then I found super bombs, and I was like, well, that's way more valuable than 80 defense.
He also has plenty of horns of life.
Which are awesome, but they cost way too much. Unless like you've killed enemies and you're sitting there with like 20 grand in the bank that you can get at or something.
Daniel just, on the side note, Daniel just cruised through phase 1 and phase 2 of Gygus.
Okay, so those deaths on Jeff and Boo aren't really that important.
I couldn't find a way to make Jeff useful. There was a dude that sold MBRs on, it was either floor 2 or floor 4, I don't remember, but it was somewhere that I wasn't going back to, so I wrote it off.
It was an early one, yeah.
It's very interesting to me how different the paths you two took. You both took the skip to floor 4, but in floor 4 it felt like or floor 4, floor 5, it was somewhere in that area. And on that floor, I think both of you, or between you and Daniel, you found at least 4 or 5 different potential skips. Floor 4 was full of them. And Daniel ended up taking one straight to floor 8. And you stayed on floor 4 a little bit longer, and then it ended up taking one straight to floor 9. Or maybe you took one to floor 7 and then to floor 9, I forget.
Let's see. I think I had decided I was on floor 6 or 7 at some point. Oh no, that was the last skip where I thought it was maybe floor 7, it was floor 9. So maybe it was 4 to 9. I just remember I wouldn't have taken that skip if I wasn't already, like, if I hadn't wasted the last 10 minutes, like, trying to revive my kids. Them getting immediately murdered by Carpainer really hurt.
Yeah, that, both of you struggled, or I think both of you kind of initially saw that Carpenter fight is like, oh good, it's not some terrible boss. And then I think Daniel had 2 deaths after getting out of the fight, and you had 3. And you both spent a good 10 to 15 minutes just after taking the skip to floor 4 or 5-ish. Just like struggling to win a fight and recover.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, both of you were definitely struggling after taking that skip.
I mean, Carpainer can be a tough first boss.
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I should have just thrown the BBR up front, but, like, now I know that 2 freeze alphas can actually not do enough damage if his hit points get randomized high enough.
Yeah, I think on Daniel was struggling. Daniel had a poo go down immediately, and Paulo was out of psychic points. So he was just bashing and praying that the Casey bat would finally connect.
Oh, Casey bat. It did come a little in handy. It wasn't a complete waste. So I don't regret taking it, but it's usually not the right play.
I mean, when you find it, you guys found it within like 3 or 4 rooms of floor 1. I think you found it in that magic ant chest or something like that. That was pretty early on. I felt like if it's that early, you might as well.
Well, I mean, I think it's always floor 1. It's definitely floor 1 or floor 2, so you'll always find it extremely early.
And there goes Daniel, finishing with a 118.45.
Still not a bad time.
Rest in peace, Draco. Also, we kind of, well, maybe you guys saw it the first time, but maybe we glazed over it. That had one of the best Gygas prayers. And he says, "You humans are all cowards."
I'm here now. I'm here now. I busted my way into this commentary channel just to say I hate Diamond Dog so much. I'm so mad. I could have played that way better, and I didn't. That's the end of my...
I thought you enjoyed fighting Carbon Dog and Diamond Dog 6 times.
What Diamond Dog?
Did you have to fight Diamond Dog? Or
No, I went around.
Yeah, he walked around them, yeah.
Ari didn't even know that Carbon Dog Diamond Dog was the boss until after he was done.
Was I ahead of Ori at any point?
You were on floor 8 fighting Carbon Dog for a while, and I would say until about the 4th or 5th attempt at the dogs, you were ahead of Aurilliux. Until I believe he found a skip from floor 7 to floor 9 and pulled ahead of you.
There was one I saw, and I got really sad about it.
Yeah, and it looked like one you had cleared. You had come in on the left side and went into the middle door.
I found a skip to floor 8 really early, and then went a really roundabout way to skip back to floor 8. I found a floor 8 skip like instantly, and then wasn't sure of myself. And then I went around floor 4 for a while, and then skipped to floor 8 again.
I do believe that was when it was in Grapefruit where you picked up a fresh egg.
A fresh egg, yep. Which was
a
bonkers drop because
found that? Holy crap!
No, it was dropped by a UFO. I killed a UFO and it dropped a fresh egg, and
that's what I mean.
I sprinted back because I just saw the monkey cave with the fresh egg thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm like so close. I bet I could make it, and then I did make it, and that was a skip to floor 8.
I saw that monkey and I was like, that ain't happening, and then just left.
Fresh egg. It's the first time I've gotten a fresh egg skip in Ancient Cave, because it's usually just like, yep, it's turning into a chicken. There's nothing you could do about it.
Hey Daniel, real quick, you want to go ahead and mash through to your credits?
Oh sure. I did not free any chickens.
Attention, all Earthbound
gamers. Oh, I was feeling pretty good until I saw, because I found Foresight. And Foresight's like, you have to fight Carbon Dog, and I'm like, I don't like this.
I know, because I remember you had found the Summers Hitman, and you knew that Carbon Dog Diamond Dog was the floor 8 boss. Yeah. And then you reached Foresight, and I'm sure in your mind you didn't know if you were on floor 8 or floor 9, and then you saw and you were on floor 8, and I just saw your just a whole expression drop.
I was just so sad because I was looking at all the bosses from like 1 to 7. It was like 7 went from Shroom to, and then 8 was Diamond Dog, and I was just like, this is so mean to go from Shroom to Diamond Dog. Like there was no nice little buffer in between. If you went like on the floors normally, you would have think it was like, and didn't check the hint, you'd be like, oh, floor 7 Shroom, it's probably not going to be that bad at floor 8, and it was Carbon Dog. It was just it was so sad. And I just kept running my head into it until he diamondized himself finally. Which was super satisfying at the very least. At least that happened.
No, Ari, no.
What are you doing?
It's trying to get a world record run of Clue in.
Oh no.
See, I want to see random battles. Wow, Daniel, you even had fewer random battles than Ari had. Ari had like 40 something. That's crazy.
I wound up in a lot of battles. It was kind of a slog for a while.
Look at that beautiful smile, though.
If you were trying to find a way around Carbon Dog, I don't think it's you're gonna get into way more fights as a result. 3 MPHs. I'm actually surprised. I thought it'd be more.
Inhumane though. It's unfortunate.
No, I didn't find a chicken. I had a fresh egg, but I wasn't gonna wait to see that turn into a chicken.
Chicken, this is your usefulness right now.
Oh my goodness.
Shout outs to that beautiful smile in the portrait, though.
Yeah, it was a fun scene. It was a good race. I'm happy with the way I played for the most part. It would have been nice if I found ATM on floor 8 because I could have gone shopping potentially. Because I didn't check the 4-side arms dealer because I had no money. And I'm like, if I find an ATM, I can go check that guy. But I couldn't find an ATM. So I was just like, it's either I take forever to find an ATM or I ride my head against Diamond Dog. And in general, I think running my head against Diamond Dog ends up being faster for me just because I have a hard time keeping track of all the floors and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially because this was such a skip-heavy seed. There was like, did you buy 3 burgers and moons in like the moon?
Oh, absolutely. I bought every skip item that I saw there because I was like, oh, burgers. Oh, tao. Oh, lunch.
There was like so many, like there was one point where it was like, I went from like a hamburger skip to a fresh egg skip, and then it was a double hamburger skip, and I'm like, geez, I have so many options on skips right now. It's actually like I'm sure I'm messing up, and it turned out I was.
I think it almost became a detriment just because of how many skips you had open to you.
Yeah, no, it was just like at that point I wasn't sure what floor was which anymore. I kept running into monkey cave rooms where I had cleared the monkey, and I was like, oh no, which one was this? Was I going forward or backwards here? And then it was bad.
Well, congratulations, Ari, though, and Daniel, thanks for pushing that through. That was still getting a 117 on a dog seed is still fantastic in my head.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I played pretty okay. I'm not too mad. I still hate Diamond Dog, but 117, yeah, you're right.
You had a few tries where you were pretty deep in a Diamond Dog, and you were just waiting for him to kill himself, and it was just a matter of getting lucky or unlucky.
Yeah, at that point, it was just so. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm still in losers at the very least. I have to play the winner of Nerm versus Airframe.
It's fun down here, I promise.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the race, guys. Do you have any final comments before we turn off the stream?
Who do I play now? Is it Quattro?
You play against Quattro,
yep.
Yeah.
Let me verify that. Yeah, it's Ari. You face Quattro. Quattro is the 3 seed,
dude.
And then DanielRGT
cool.
will face the winner of Nerm and Airfram, and then I will face Flanders. So it's down to after Nerm and Airfram. It's just down to 6 of us.
Coming for blood, dude. You best prepare.
Well, thanks for the race, guys. Thanks everyone for watching this evening. And I believe the next race will be Tuesday evening between Airfram and Nerm. So until then, y'all have a wonderful night.